Welcome,
Nerdrotic.com.
everybody. Hope everybody's doing okay. We are back to discuss Star Trek Picard. Episode 5, Stardust City Rag. Wow. They weren't kidding with dystopian Trek, and I don't want to bury the lead on this one. And by the way, there's going to be spoilers. And to take care of a little business first, if you enjoy independent content here on YouTube, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking and sharing the videos. That does help independent content creators stay competitive against the giant corporations like CBS, who we are in constant competition against. And quite frankly, the only place your voice can be heard right now is on YouTube, since they've shut down every comment section everywhere else. And we'll see how long this lasts. We'll enjoy it while it lasts, shall we? And thank you for joining me tonight. I do all of these reviews live. I will be doing a Season 1 video, and I'm playing around with the idea of doing a Season 1 Part 1 video over the first 5 episodes. I might do that this weekend. So there will be spoilers, and we begin this episode with another flashback. It's kind of I think they've done it the last 3 episodes, and of course, again, I had to get the spoiler thing out of the way before we bury the lead. 7 of 9 came back, and yeah, she's gay. All right. So the world will move forward, and that's just going to break Star Trek, isn't it? They didn't come out and say it, but they heavily insinuated it in this episode. And it looks like she's gone. It looks like she was just kind of in and out, and that's it. Jerry Ryan looks great. I love 7 of 9. I thought she played the role well. She played it way more human. They said they were going to explain that. They really didn't. This episode was filled with over-familiarity that wasn't earned, but that's Kurtzman Trek for you. People meet for the first time, and all of a sudden they're best friends, best buds. So they had to go down and do their Blade Runner / Altered Carbon episode, which... they went to Freecloud, and we are 5 episodes in, and we finally get to Bruce Maddox. So we start out with a flashback where a Borg is being basically disassembled alive with no anesthetic, and they start the episode with an eyeball getting drilled. So, woo! Yeah, this ain't your grandpappy's Star Trek anymore. They're going dark. They're going hard. And they rip out the eyeball. And then the people doing this get killed, and it's 7 of 9. But this, by the way, it's a Starfleet officer who was from Voyager. From the Voyager. So 7 of 9 looks at this person as kin, basically her son, and she has to kill him because he was pretty much ripped apart. And there was all his Borg parts were hanging up. And apparently there's a whole black market for Borg parts. And there are groups of people running around the galaxy. By the way, the galaxy is completely devolved. So maybe they were going to explain that after the Dominion War, the Federation really didn't build up its resources, and the shipyards, the Utopia Planitia shipyards being blown up really did deplete Starfleet, and the neutral zone that still was in existence is gone, and it's just lawless craziness out there. So, and Freecloud, which we're going to get to, is like space Las Vegas. So yeah, we start out with a little torture, a little murder. And then we go to we go to 2 weeks prior to this episode, and we meet, I'm not going to be able to pronounce her name, Bajazik, maybe? Bajazi. I'm just going to call her Bajazi. And she is kind of, she runs a criminal underground organization out of some bar in Freecloud. And we find out that she has Bruce Maddox. She initially wants to kill him, but then she kidnaps him, and she is going to trade him to the Tal Shiar. We find out that Bruce Maddox did indeed have a lab on Freecloud. The Tal Shiar found out about it, and they destroyed it, and they used some kind of chemical to just completely destroy it, like down to its atoms. It's gone, some liquid or whatever. And Bajaziki, blah, blah, whatever her name is, kidnaps Bruce Maddox. So we get to the ship, the La Sirena, which doesn't sound at all like the Rocinante. And they are prepping to go down the Freecloud, and that's what they do for most of the episode. Remember, Rafi is just going with them to Freecloud, and then she's going to bail on them, but she's helping set up the operation, getting their disguises all together, getting their plan all together. By the way, 7 of 9 was just supposed to, they found her accidentally. She was there just randomly, and then she was going to leave. But then before she leaves, though, she has to chew out Picard, because for the 5th episode in a row, we have to have a woman dressing down old man Picard, because we need to destroy the Western canon. In the words of Dana Schwartz, the writer for She-Hulk, it's patriarchal and it needs to be destroyed, and they are doing it. And shame on I almost said Jean-Luc Picard, Sir Patrick Stewart. Shame on Sir Patrick Stewart, who benefited from this patriarchal Western canon and is willing to go back in his retirement to completely destroy it after he made all his money doing it. Jackass. That's all I've got to say about that. So the respect is eroding as the episodes go on. Now, let's just talk about the episode. The episode of television. The episode of television that is deconstructing Star Trek episode by episode was a better directed episode, because, again, it was directed by Jonathan Frakes, and I will say it was one of the better written episodes. The dialogue wasn't as horrible, but it's still bad, because this one was written by Christian Bale, who doesn't get enough of the responsibility for Star Trek Discovery that she deserves. Alex Kurtzman gets a lot of the heat, but she should get some too. But quite frankly, the dialogue was not as bad because Kurtzman and Chabon were not involved in the writing of this episode, according to the credit. Now, I don't know what that really means. But again, it suffers from over familiarity. There's not, shit doesn't get earned in Kurtzman Trek or anything he does. So things just happen. And it's series of events after series of events that really are just done to get the plot moving forward. None of it feels real. The only difference between this and Star Trek Discovery is Sir Patrick Stewart. Quite frankly, he's surrounded by a bunch of characters I could give two shits about. Rios is okay, but again, a lot of this is just contrived. It's so contrived. So 7 of 9 sits Picard down, and what does she say here? Let me get to my notes. Sorry, old man Hefe Gary here. Picard, what are you doing out here? You're way over your head. Are you on some other misguided diplomatic mission? I was out there protecting people when the Federation left everybody behind. Yeah. And my mission is hopeless and pointless. And I was like, so is this show. But then she says, the only thing worse is to give up. But she has 7 of 9, obviously, is not in Starfleet anymore. She's a Fenris Ranger, trying to be a vigilante, taking the law into her own hands. Picard starts to give her a little crap about this, but she shushes him right up, and he just does what he does every single episode. He goes, okay. Puts his head down like a good little boy. And 7 of 9 almost is annoying. So I am impressed. But Jerry Ryan, I like Jerry Ryan. So I can't hate 7 of 9. I can't. Even though I do kind of hate what they've done to her character, and I kind of hate what they've done to Star Trek. So remember those episodes where they said, we don't need for anything. We don't have desire. We don't collect things. We don't pay for stuff. What Star Trek Picard is basically doing is making everybody in the Federation kind of zealot, and you know what? No, naive. They were naive military. They all believed the stories from the state, and they believed that they lived in a paradise and a utopia. but that wasn't exactly true now, was it? So this does damage past Trek if you want to take this show at its word. These the members of the Federation, Admiral Jean-Luc Picard, were misguided. And naive and unaware of the suffering and the isms that were going on in the galaxy that they ignored because they were privileged. The privileged Federation. Yeah, fun. You remember when this show was inspiring? I love it when they start episodes with drilling out eyeballs. I can't wait to hear what other people say about that. I'm sure some people are going to love it and try to spin that this is completely different than Star Trek Discovery, and this is better. Sorry, something got caught in my throat. I am so sorry. Hey, if you want to get in the good graces, you know what? Kurtzman would probably accept you. They would probably, give you set tours. They might give you set tours of Star Trek Picard if you kiss enough ass. Yeah. So, I didn't have to kiss any ass to get a set tour, but it's okay. It's all right. Where was I after I was choking on the shill? Oh, they have these cheese Picard. What is going on? Stop with this. Oh, I disconnected for a moment. I am sorry. I am reconnected now, so I am back. I don't know what happened there. Here, hang on. I might be drawing too much. That should fix that right there. So, sorry about that. I have returned. So that we get a scene where they're getting all the costumes together, and what they're doing is they're doing that weird cutting again that I, as an editor, it just makes me want to rip my eyeballs out. So they're presenting two scenes with the same characters, and they're intercutting them in together. This is now the third time they've done that. So as Rios is beaming down to Freecloud, by the way, he beamed right in front of Quark's bar, and they mention Quark. They mention Quark this. They don't show him, but they mention him. And he goes down to the Freecloud bar, and as they're playing out the scene of Rios infiltrating, they have a big plot where they're going to get Bruce Maddox, and instead of, because they're going to remember that Bazaji or whatever is going to trade Bruce Maddox to the Tal Shiar. So they're going to offer 7 of 9, who just showed up, chewed out Picard, was going to leave, and then Picard said, I need to save a girl. She's all, okay, I'll stay, and I'll sacrifice my life. We do find out why, though. So because she's a fully functional Borg, and those, I guess, are pretty rare from the Delta Quadrant, so that makes her valuable on the black market. So she offers herself up, and they make up a bunch of aliases for themselves, and Picard is supposed to be some evil Borg dealer, and he has a strong French accent. And there is the worst. I mean, you got on my thumbnail, if you could see my thumbnail, it's the scene where he says, what does he say? I am going to be sinister. And I thought my cringe muscles created more cringe muscles, and they're still pulled, by the way. I'm going to have to go to a chiropractor to get that fixed. I even wrote, oh God, in my notes. Oh God. So the neutral zone is collapsed. They go down and to go free Bruce Maddox. And they meet Mr. Voog, who's a big reptilian dude. And he can smell everything on you, even alive. But they give Rios some benzos. And remember, as they're playing out this scene of everybody beaming down, and Dr. Girardi has to beam them back up, and she's acting like super weird, weirder than normal. And as they're acting out the scene and cutting the deal and saying, hey, we're not the Tal Shiar, but we want to offer up 7 of 9 instead, and we want to trade her for Bruce Maddox. They keep cutting. Anytime there's a tense moment where like the Voog guy or Vug or whatever his name is about to smell a lie, they cut back and go, oh, but we have something for that. And it takes away all the tension. So again, interconnecting two scenes with the same characters is, I see what you're trying to do, and it's more confusing than good. I'll just say that. So they end up they get Maddox, and we find out that the Bazijal or whatever was very close with Seven of Nine at one time, and Seven of Nine didn't tell Picard on his big important mission that they were very close, and she wanted revenge because Bazijal or whatever her name is killed her son, but they also insinuated that those two were very, very close. Very close. So Seven of Nine was doing some Six of Nine with an 8.5, and that's, it's just the way things go in modern Star Trek. Of course, we don't get to see it. I mean, well, who'd want to see that? In the meantime, during this tense scene, Raffi leaves. And in the middle of this episode, we get this soap opera dramatic moment where Raffi went to Freecloud, Space Vegas, where her son is, that she completely ignored. But it's her son's fault, by the way, because even if the women have a flaw in Kurtzman Trek, it's because of a man. So her son hates her because she ignored him and his father because of her conspiracy theory about Mars and the synths, and there's lies upon lies, and nobody's listening to her. And boy, doesn't this sound like Michael Burnham? Remember when Michael Burnham, got in trouble, and she was a mutineer, but they should have really listened to her because she ended up being right in the first place. Same situation. So the son is a dick to her, tells her to leave. Of course, he has a Romulan wife who's pregnant, and she bails. So she went all the way there without calling the kid and just thinking she could show up and say, I'm sober. Now, that might happen. Okay, those things like that actually happen. And she wasn't really that sober. So she ends up getting kicked to the curb. But we end up finding a little bit about that there's lies upon lies, but that's not all. We find out more. Remember the people who were reviewing the show and going, Starfleet wasn't that bad. They explained everything. Starfleet's fine. They're not portraying Starfleet as evil. Ha! Now they are. Now they are. We'll get there. So Raffi ends up getting kicked to the curb. And Girardi's acting very weird during this whole thing. So there's supposedly a tense moment between 7-9 and Bazikal where you don't know if they're going to make out or kill each other. And 7 of 9 really wants to kill her, but she ends up trading Bruce Maddox for her life. They beam away. Then 7 of 9 goes back with him and says, Picard's all, that's good. You're good. You're not saving the galaxy. This is just revenge. 7 of 9 says, okay, thanks. I'm not going to stick around. I got a Fenris Ranger coming back. Can I borrow a couple phasers as I beam down? And dumbass Picard goes, oh, sure. Go ahead and beam back down. You're not going to go back down and get revenge and shoot everybody after I told you not to. And that's what she does. She goes down and shoots everybody and gets revenge and kills everybody. But before she does, she has a little speech with Bajaji, and she wants to point out that Picard still has hope that there's good in the galaxy, but we all know the reality of it. And I don't want to I don't want to spoil his hope, the poor, dumb, naive old man. And then she kills her and kills everybody else in the club and walks away and walks right out of the episode and probably never to return. We probably saw all of 7 of 9. It's almost like they got her back to reshoot the scene, like a little scene, and then she's not going to be in the rest of the episode. It's almost like that. By the way, Patrick Stewart's a guest star in this show, as we all suspected. As more characters are introduced, we get less time with Picard because we wanted to see a Picard show with a bunch of new people. So we find out some exposition through Bruce Maddox that Soji is stuff we already knew, by the way, that Dodge, he worked on Dodge and he sent her to Earth. She has a sister named Soji, and they're supposed to find the truth behind the ban on the synths because there's lies upon lies. It's not just the Romulans. The Federation is involved as well. My guess, Section 31. I know, I'm going out on a limb. Kurtzman, Section 31. They would never do that, would they? And then the drummer from Scott Pilgrim, Girardi, does the unthinkable and kills Bruce Maddox. because she knows something. She wished she didn't know what she knew. She was crying. She was really upset about it because she was his lover. And she killed him. Now, yeah, I mean, he's disposable. It's a male in Star Trek, a white male. So he's dead. And he knew something. He wasn't bad per se, but he knew something. And she is obviously, just like we suspected, she's working with the Tal Shiar or with the the evil Federation or something. And so they're on there with a murderer. And there's something else we probably don't. By the way, remember we went and got Romulegalos? We spent a whole episode getting Romulegalos. He ended up holding a couple of guns, having a couple of awkward lines, and that was it. So we spent all that time. Remember, we're in a race. We're in a race to go get Soji. Critical Drinker pointed this out. We're running out of time, but we can go get Romulegalos and dick around in a bar, and we're halfway through the season now, and the crew just got back together, but they all know each other like they're best friends. The episode's not good. 5 out of 10. Is it bad as Star Trek Discovery? No. Is it good? Is it better than the worst episode of like Enterprise or Voyager? No. Not at all. And it makes you think of Rick. Did you guys hear about Rick Berman's tweet? Let's see if I can pull that up real quick. I should have had that ready. A couple days ago, Rick Berman tweeted out, "So how's everybody enjoying Star Trek Picard?" I thought that, there it is right there. There it is. I'm pretty sure he knew what he was doing. Don't you? I mean, I don't think he's a dumb man. I think Rick Berman is now feeling more appreciated than ever. And, I used to say, I got sick of the guy. I said some bad things. I want to publicly apologize to Rick Berman. I am sorry I ever said I don't remember much, but I'm sorry I ever said anything bad. Please come back. I miss you. I'm sorry. And, We've got, here we go. So, how's everybody enjoying that? This is awfully professional, isn't it? I mean, gosh damn, 221,000 YouTubers, and you get quality like, YouTubers, freaking, you get quality like this. You get quality like this, folks. I think I just knocked over another window. So, there's our good friend, Jack Beers. Come back. How's everybody enjoying Star Trek Picard? Yeah. Now, I don't know. It's absolutely terrible television on its own right and colossal insult to actual the Star Trek universe itself. There's a good friend, Doomcock. Hail, Doomcock. He might be watching. What's up, buddy? I despise Star Trek. Wait. I despise Star Trek Picard. The rank incompetence has made people understand just how brilliantly you protected Roddenberry's legacy and what solid work you did. On your very worst day, you make these guys look like amateurs. STP is Star Trek for and by people who hate Star Trek. Subscribe to Doomcock. Hey, there's Tom from Midnight's Edge. There we go. There's our boy, Char. Now, okay, I had to like dial him back a little bit on this one because he said we were so wrong. Red Letter Media was so wrong. We need the Ricks back. Okay. And I just put let's not get crazy. Berman, yes. Yacht Boy, no. Hell no. Yeah. Oh, hey, our guest from Friday Night Tights last night, Robert Meyer Burnett. I hope you're getting residuals since the entire series is based on the work you produced, beginning with The Next Generation Season 2, Measure of a Man. He better be getting some cheddar from this. I'm not enjoying it, says Thomas. It's an unoriginal, generic copy of far better sci-fi series. It looks and feels nothing like Star Trek, and they're connecting it to that bastardized Discovery nonsense. Alex Kurtzman is the definition of wrong person for the job. And our good friend Rob Gallo from Midnight's Edge, it's making me miss the Orville. We need you back, Rick. And oh, by the way, everybody watch the Orville. A Seth MacFarlane joint. It's available on Hulu for the low price of, I believe, $10. You can get 2 full seasons, including the brilliant episode About a Girl, and Identity Part 1 and 2. Watch the Orville today. Okay. Yeah, right there. So enough shilling for the Orville. Hail Seth, by the way. Seth's probably watching. What's up, Seth? Me and Seth are like this. We're like this. Yeah, I love Seth. Hail Seth Trek. Hail Seth Trek. Okay, let's get to you guys. Boy, that sucked. Okay. Daryl Rayner for $4.99. Hail Gary. I am usually sound asleep at this time, but not today. Cheers. Thank you for not being sound asleep. I hope I will be sound asleep soon. I have an interview with Mark Zickery tomorrow. That's right, a real Star Trek writer. We're going to ask him what he thinks about Star Trek Picard, and we're also going to talk about his show, Space Command, because he's going out and trying to make some good science fiction, and bless his heart. He also wrote one of the best freaking books ever, The Twilight Zone Companion, one of the best companion books ever. My good friend Doug got that for me for my 12th birthday. I read it cover to cover. It was dog-eared. Greatest show ever written, Twilight Zone. Vladimir Lemon for $1. Thank you, Vladimir. Now I'm connected to Russians. But that's okay. I like Russians. I do. Monton Thills for $1.99. The Crotchety Commandment. Picard, Pirate Lord of Penzance. Yes, he was the Pirate Lord of Dependence. He was the Pirate Lord of Dependence. TM right there. Problem being for £1.99. Femme Supreme Creme sulking as usual. Oh yes, Dana Schwartz, who got a full ride to Brown University. Oh, and I'm surprised that a little rich white girl who went to Brown University has the opinions she does, which she has every right to. Man or woman, she has every right to those opinions that are wrong. And we have every right to ours. It was funny. I was reading that article on Bounding into Comics. My wife walked in. I'm like, are you allowed to have any opinions, Mrs. Nerdrotic? And she flipped me off. Believe that? She gave me the bird. Told me I was number one. That woman, she loves me. She really does. Vladimir Lemon for $2. This was not 7. Whiskey is solution to new Trek. Hey, Vladimir, isn't it supposed to be vodka? Am I stereotyping you? God damn it. Is that thing, is it slowing down again? Did I just lose connection? I'm sorry if I lost connection. It looks like I froze up a little bit there. Hang in there, folks. Hang in there. Hang in there. It's going to come back. My connection was going bad there for a second. I apologize for that. Okay, Vlad, Tyson Jalil for $5 Canadian. Why is Dr. Lady nervous about using a transporter but has no issues offing her mentor? Why does New Warrior guy have to be so dumb? I know. I mean, like, it's bad enough you're running around in space with a fucking sword, excuse my language, but you're dumb on top of that. But Tyson, remember, he's got a penis. They're all dumb. And Kurtzman is so freaking tryhard. He is so tryhard. That guy will do anything to keep a job in Hollywood. I would certainly be open to a seat opening up to a POT. I am a strong proponent of people of talent. Now, I don't care where you put your Johnson or what skin color you are. As long as you're a POT, you're good with me. I'm down with POT. Are you down with POT? I say CBSAA, which is CBS All Ass, via Amazon Prime. It's 39 minutes late. That sucks, Phantom of Many Topics. It was 15 minutes late. I heard a nasty rumor. Nasty rumor that people are upset about this show. But I hear that rumor a lot. I don't know. People involved, financially involved. But I can say as a fact that there's a lot of fans upset with this show. That's a fact. Stargate 404. I'm making a Hero Forge Mini. Would you like one? Yeah, of course, Stargate 404. Absolutely. I would treasure it. I would treasure it. Thank you. Thank you for the offer, my friend. Orville Nation for $2. What in God's name are we watching? We are watching the No Undiscovered Country for Old Man JL, or Picard, LOTRCSIPI, or Picard Hard, or I don't know, As the Federation Turns. We are not watching Star Trek. The Defenders are going to have a harder and harder time as the season goes on. They are. I don't want to hate this. It's not my desire. I'm not going to just simply like something because I don't want to hate it. Sorry. I'm not sorry. I'm not freaking sorry. I'm not sorry for telling the truth. And any blowhards out there who think they can walk into my head and suss out my motivation, I'm telling you my motivation. I would like good Star Trek. I would like it very much. I am not willing to just like anything for that thing to exist, which is what a lot of people want. I just want it to exist. Well, here's the problem. If you continue to have this exist, it will damage the brand forever. Forever. That's why they cancel shows. Doctor Who was canceled because of low ratings. People didn't watch it anymore. But it didn't damage the brand. But it's doing that now. And they're not canceling it when they probably should. Now, Star Trek is going to continue. We have no idea how well it's doing. I fully believe that Star Trek Picard was doing very good in the first couple episodes. I think that a ton of people watched. I think a ton of people subscribed to CBS All Access, without a doubt. I think a lot of people took advantage of the free week that they offered. I don't know why you would offer a free week when you have Star Trek Picard. That's the time you don't offer that stuff. They did offer a free episode on YouTube. I found that very suspicious. For a successful show, offering it for free on a competing network. Very interesting. Out of the box thinking. They tried that with Star Trek Discovery as well. So I don't know how well it's doing. People show me Google Trends charts that are just trending down. And I am of the belief that the normies who watch this show are even going to start dipping out because they wanted to see the crew. Like everybody else. We don't want a Picard. We don't want a Patrick Stewart vanity project where he's barely in it. We want to see the crew. We want to see them together. One last time. I don't give a shit how old they are. I don't care. I watched the Star Trek movies. They were freaking old. My God. We had Uhura like dancing naked in the desert when she was like 50 years old. It was awesome. Okay. I want that. Yes. All day long. But not this. Not this. And they're burning it out. It's the leftover from JJ Trek. And, in a few years, it'll be gone. This Marvel Cinematic Universe of Star Trek they sold them on, it's already been done by Rick Berman. He produced 4 successful TV shows. That will not be done again. And he got clipped in the knees by Les Moonves. And this is still a carryover from Les Moonves. Watch the Midnight's Edge videos on it. They cover it all. And now we are left with dystopian Trek because the people involved think that's what the people want because they're trying to make Star Trek everything it isn't. It's not a fantasy. It's not about destiny. It's not an effing soap opera. It's a procedural sci-fi show. It should be episodic. Now, you can modernize it. Absolutely. It doesn't have to look like the 90s show. That's a bunch of garbage. I don't believe that at all. And you can modernize it a little bit. You can leave out the language. That doesn't make it better. It makes it worse. It makes it dumb. But that's what they think fans are. They are dumbing down Star Trek because they think you think it's boring. The thing is, this is boring. That's the worst offense. Mrs. Nerdrotic, who was kind of on board for the show for the first couple episodes, is dipped out because it's boring. And that's the word I'm hearing the most. So thank you. Let's get to the chat just a little bit. Then I'm going to call it a night. I'll go for a few more minutes. I'm sorry. Again, I dipped out on that one. I have to move my microphone a little bit here. Here, screw that. Let's go. For one. Let's go over here. All right. Have you seen the latest STD lawsuit update? Yes, I have, Tim Curtis. I thank you. Anas Abdin said some really nice things, and thank you, Anas. It was my pleasure. There's only one YouTuber out there that I know of who said I was profiteering off that. I would like to say this publicly, just so you get your facts straight, because I think you have a problem doing that. So I hope you're listening, little boy. It actually cost me. It cost me $3,000. All right. So I'm a part of my recovery. Part of my program is I try to practice these principles in all of my affairs. One of those principles is honesty. So $20,000 went to the GoFundMe. Is actually 21, and it wasn't supposed to hit my bank account, but it did through a bizarre set of circumstances. I transferred all the money, every penny, to Anas. Anas said, keep some money for your taxes. I said, no, absolutely fucking not. The people donated for you. I'll take the hit. And I did. So, I mean, it's not great. It's not like I, $3,000 is a lot of cheddar, but happy to do it. Happy to do it. So, yeah, I actually lost money, but you know what? I gained. And sorry, you can't hit me with the advertising thing either, because I donated I donated my advertising from all the Anas videos and all the super chats to the GoFundMe. So sorry. Nah. And yeah, and happy to do it. Now he's going to need some more. It's going to be a tough fight. I hope he wins. I really do. I mean, this is David versus Goliath. Plus he's a Kuwaiti citizen, folks. He's not an American citizen. So I'm sure, although it's my opinion that I'm pretty sure about, but it's still my opinion, that they saw that he was not an American citizen and just thought he was easier to take advantage of, which is really funny because the whole point of Star Trek Picard is about the disenfranchised and the disadvantaged immigrants that were forgotten and taken advantage of. And does it sound like they're not practicing their own principles in all of their affairs? Something to think about, huh? It's almost like they're full of shit and they don't believe in their own cause. But they'll write anything to stay relevant, even though they're making themselves irrelevant. Yep. Yeah. Hypocrites. Don't bother with STD, buddy. Jason, you got better things to do in your life. Pay a parking ticket, watch some grass grow. I don't know. Grow a mushroom. Something. Turn it into a hyperdrive. Hail, Mazamonte. How are you? Welcome. Welcome. All right. We're going to read one more. Here we got NK33. Thank you for the $2 super chat. When did we get Jodie Doctor STB cross? Oh, when do we get a Jodie Doctor or a first female Doctor played by Jodie Whittaker and Star Trek Picard crossover? Maximum cringe. It'll be in the comics. I Titan and IADW, if they're still around, will do a crossover soon. And I blame you for giving them the idea. But thank you for the $2. I'm just kidding. Vladimir Lemon for $5. Star Trek used to be something to strive for. It used to be, I'm going to add here, inspirational, hopeful. It doesn't need to be perfect. That is the straw man argument that we're asking for perfect Trek. We want it to look exactly like the next generation. Horseshit. But it can still be Star Trek. But the thing is, Dana Schwartz, the writer for She-Hulk, in promoting her own book, calling for the destruction of Western canon, that's what they all believe. They firmly believe that. What the hell do you think The Last Jedi was? And The Fall of Skywalker? And Star Trek Discovery? And Star Trek Picard? And I'm sorry to even bring this up, but what do you think Logan was? Look deep. I was entertained by Logan. You were entertained by Logan. Look at the themes of Logan. They are right in line with Star Trek Picard. Difference is, good writing can cover up a lot of stuff, and James Mangold wrote a good movie that was entertaining. But it still had these themes. So you can get your little messages across with good writing. You're just failing miserably. Yeah, but she said it out loud right there for everybody to see. I mean, like, it's not like we haven't been saying this. And again, nobody's against inclusivity and diversity. I love The Expanse. I've always loved Doctor Who. I've always loved Star Trek. I believe we can move forward without trampling on the past. But they want to trample on the past. They don't even want to move forward. They want to trample on the past. They want to rewrite it, unwrite it. Everything was bad before. So you have people who are making Star Trek, like Doomcock just said, and like I've said before in the past, who don't like Star Trek, don't want to make Star Trek, and they want to make it for people who've never liked Star Trek. I don't think it's working, though. We'll see. 3 years, we're going to see. If Star Trek is the Marvel Universe that Alex Kurtzman has promised, by the way, he promised them out loud, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, what he really wants and what CBS really wants is the CW DC universe. And that's what we have. They want a consistent moneymaker that eventually they're not going to have to put that much money or time into, or costuming or effort. And listen, the CW's success has screwed it up for, I thought Daredevil was the perfect anti-CW, but then that failed. CW continued, and they follow the money. And quite frankly, people lapping up CW shows, I blame that too. Sorry, but I'm not sorry. Those things are trash. All right, I'm going to wrap it up, everybody. This was not a good episode whatsoever, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry to Star Trek fans, even the ones who like this. You deserve better. You deserve better. You've been loyal for so many years. This was inspirational for so many people. It was the one show, right and left, center, whatever, could sit down and enjoy and forget this stuff. And, largely that's what fandom used to be until it got taken over by the big corporations and the normies. And, maybe fandom was always just meant to be niche, and we'll see. We'll see. We'll keep fighting the power, though. We'll keep doing it because, well, it's fun and they make it really easy. Quite frankly, this is some low-hanging fruit. It is. Until next time, everybody, have a wonderful evening. I will see you on Friday Night Tights, and I will be interviewing Mark Zickery. That'll be out later today. And I have a video coming out. And what else is coming up? Oh, Altered Carbon Season 2. I'll be covering that. I will be covering that. And we have Better Call Saul this Sunday. So maybe something will be good. Everybody, good night, and make it slow. Make it slow.